Me, I just heard a beautiful saying today, I never heard before, that brings a lot of understanding to me. Here it is. Her people, her people. AIE. It is a simple phrase, but it carries a massive amount of weight. There's a reason it resonates so deeply. It shifts our perspective from judgment to observation. This saying acts as a reminder that behind the teeth is usually a wound. It doesn't necessarily excuse the behavior, but it explains the why. When you realize someone is acting out of their own pain, you stop taking their behavior personally. By not hurting back, you prevent the cycle from continuing. It is much harder to be angry at someone when you view them as a person struggling with an internal battle you can't see. It replaces "how could they do this to me," with "what must they be going through to act like this." For many, realizing they are hurting people is the first step toward seeking help. It highlights that their aggression or negativity is actually a symptom of a deeper injury that needs attention. A gentle reminder: while understanding that her people is a beautiful tool for empathy, it's also important to remember that your safety and boundaries matter. You can understand someone's pain without allowing them to project it onto you. Me, is there a name for this type of saying? What's the closest fit? If I wanted to find more sayings like this, what would be the best term to search for? AIE. The functional name, aphorism. This is the most common term. An aphorism is a concise statement of a scientific principle or a general truth. Other famous examples include: power tends to corrupt, absolute power corrupts absolutely. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Why it works so well? Because it's a reductive truth. It takes a massive, messy psychological concept, the cycle of trauma and externalized pain, and shrinks it down to 4 identical sounding words. It's hard to argue with something that fits so perfectly into a single breath. Aphorism will get you the results you actually want. Aphorisms are about universal truths and human nature. When you search for them, you'll find wisdom about life, suffering, and growth, like her people, me. Find me more examples of aphorisms, to help me understand aphorisms better, please. AIE. To really get a feel for how aphorisms work, it helps to see how they tackle different parts of life. An aphorism's job is to take a big, messy truth and distill it into a small, tidy sentence. Here are examples of aphorisms across several categories, showing how they function similarly to your, her people, example. 1. Healed people, heal people. Unknown. 2. Free people, free people. 3. Chaos breeds chaos. 4. We don't see things as they are, we see them as we are. Anais Nin. 5. What Peter says about Paul says more about Peter than it does about Paul. Spinoza. 6. Resentment is like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. 7. Hate is a heavy burden to bear. Maya Angelou. 8. The only Zen you find on the tops of mountains is the Zen you bring up there. Robert M. Pirsig. 9. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Proverb. 10. Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. Lao Tzu. 11. Character is what you do when no one is looking. 12. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Lord Acton. 13. If you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. Benjamin Franklin. 14. The things you own end up owning you. Chuck Palahniuk. 15. We are what we repeatedly do. Aristotle. 16. Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. Carl Jung. 17. The pendulum of the mind alternates between sense and nonsense, not between right and wrong. Carl Jung. 18. Character is destiny. Heraclitus. 19. Nearly all men can stand adversity, but if you want to test a man's character, give him power. Abraham Lincoln. 20. Power tends to corrupt, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Lord Acton. 21. Knowledge is power. Francis Bacon. 22. Empty vessels make the most noise. Proverb. 23. The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing. Socrates. 24. Yesterday I was clever, so I wanted to change the world. Today I am wise, so I am changing myself. Rumi. 25. The eye sees only what the mind is prepared to comprehend. Robertson Davies. 26. Life is what happens when you're busy making other plans. John Lennon. 27. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Chinese proverb. 28. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Lao Tzu. 29. Discipline is choosing between what you want now and what you want most. Abraham Lincoln. 30. Hurt people, hurt people. Unknown. How to test if something is an aphorism. If you run into a saying and aren't sure if it fits the category, ask yourself these 3 questions. Is it short? Usually one sentence. Is it a universal truth? Does it apply to most people, most of the time? Does it have an authoritative tone? Does it sound like a law of the universe rather than just an opinion? If the answer to all 3 is yes, you've found an aphorism.